What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister, Devana.
What's up?
And my brother, Derek.
What's up?
And today we're going to be talking about Echo, just released on Disney+. It is following the character of Maya Lopez that was introduced in the Hawkeye series, actually quite a while ago.
Yeah.
It was a couple of years ago.
I'd say 2 years.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So that's what we're following. It's a 5-episode series. They dropped it all at once, so no weekly stuff for this. So we'll be talking about the entire season and our thoughts.
I kind of like the dropping all episodes.
Yes, everyone should do that always.
Yeah, I think this series was that kind of. Some series are like, like, oh, this should have been released weekly type of deal.
No,
Some
there's
series
not a
are.
single series that why.
How
do I benefit from that?
Disney Plus definitely would benefit from it. Like Loki, if I'm thinking business, like I don't think they should have. They should have done it weekly the way they've done, because each week built up hype for the next episode.
Disney's business model. I'm talking about me. I don't benefit from it releasing.
Also,
weekly.
sometimes the hype it works better for the viewer too, where it's like,
does it?
Yeah, because now you have that anticipation, like, man,
Isn't it better to be watching a show and you be like, all right, I'm only gonna watch one episode, and then
except for it's 2 a.m. in the morning, you're like, one more episode though. Let me see what happens next.
That's what I'm saying. It's so
then
much
you
better
realize you only get 3 hours of sleep and you got to go to work.
Right. I'm just saying it's so much better that way. When you realize you watched like 6 episodes of something you said you were only gonna do one.
Okay, all right. I see what you mean. I think there is a need for both. I don't think every single TV show should drop all their episodes at once.
I agree with DJ. Yeah.
Sprinkle
it in. Mix it up.
Mix it up. This show, I think, was benefited by a full season drop. It was only 5 episodes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. You guys are wrong, but
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So of course, Maya Lopez, before I get into the show, I want to talk about some outside things a little bit. She's played by Alaqua Cox. I don't think we talked too much about her in Hawkeye.
we did not.
But I do think it is pretty cool that they have someone who is actually deaf playing the character. Now, I'm not the person that's like, oh, if it's a deaf character, it has to be played by a deaf actor. It doesn't have to be. But it is still pretty cool to have someone that is,
I think you benefit.
Yeah.
From it because it's her life.
Yeah, like she was born deaf, so
I think it definitely benefits by having someone who's actually deaf, and then
it made me think of the actors in A Quiet Place with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like it's because she's in the movie. I feel like you get that extra.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, they extra something.
Yeah.
Well, they did a similar thing here in Echo, where we had scenes where it would be from Maya's point of view, and like there was no sound. Like the first episode, I thought that scene with the motorcycle was really cool.
Yeah.
Like she was stealing a motorcycle or whatever, and the police showed up, and then like it was just all silent. You didn't hear the sirens, you just saw the lights, and like she ran the motorcycle through the window, and it was all silent, and it was just I don't know, it hits different, with that. And there were a few other scenes where
what's interesting about that scene?
What?
They didn't shoot her. I'm just saying. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, I guess so.
Or arrest her.
Well, no,
because Kingpin showed up.
She was being arrested. Kingpin showed up, and he owns the cops.
Yeah, but there's no way in New York.
Right. I was just saying he would have picked her up from the precinct and not on the side of the street.
No, it's Kingpin.
It's Kingpin.
Got that kind of power. I think that's one of the purpose of the scenes too, to show just how much power he has.
Yeah, because
he could just show up. You saw he walked in, and they was just like, okay, well.
Yeah, because you had that one cop like, "Hey, guy, you can't." And they're like, "No, bro."
Yeah, and he just walked away. No conversation.
Because he kept walking.
Yeah, so I thought that was good for him too, to show just what kind of hold he has over the police department. But I don't know. I watched that and I was like, they had a shot her. so fast.
I did not think of that.
I didn't think of that.
I guess so.
Yeah, I didn't think of that either.
That would have been a short series. Yes. The other aspect is her indigenous background, which they touch on here. Now, I don't think Maya Lopez in the comics is indigenous to the Americas. But
I don't know. Aren't you supposed to? Y'all the comic book people. You're supposed to look this stuff up.
yeah,
So
well,
She is.
she is. Okay.
Yes. But in the comic book, she's from the Cheyenne.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so here they changed it to the Choctaw.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's in Oklahoma is where they're mainly now. The start of the series, they popped up in Alabama, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I think Marvel does do a good job. I can't say always without pandering, because you have certain scenes in movies where it's like you're clearly pandering, but like with a few of these shows, like them or not, I think they've done a good job of representing different cultures and peoples without it being like, oh hey, this is our indigenous superhero, right?
I agree. I think I mean, not knowing anything about the culture,
yeah,
it seems like they did a really good job of telling you about the culture, representing the culture in a way without just like throwing in your face like, hey, this show stars a bunch of Native Americans.
Yeah.
And it's also because they also didn't focus on how they lost their land.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that wasn't important for
it wasn't.
the
It was
story.
just important about them.
Yeah.
And their culture and their background and how they come from like a long line of warriors and fighters and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that all is like very character-wise, the show did a very good job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I think that's Marvel at its best when it really focuses on characters. That's what we like about Phase 1, 2, and 3. A lot of the movies that are people's favorites have that character growth in it. A lot of the shows that we like, WandaVision, Loki, and stuff like that, has that character in it.
Yeah.
And when they step away from it, that's when things fall apart. She-Hulk. So I think that's what makes this show pretty good.
Yeah.
Just coming out of the gate, just saying that, like, I think it's a pretty good show, and it is because it's focused on that character and her growth and change. Yeah. So, yeah, thought that was pretty good. Episode 1 pretty much is just like basically a rehash plus some stuff in her past that we haven't seen before, but it's all basically the past up until now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
I mean, you kind of need, because if you haven't seen Hawkeye, then you have no clue who she is.
Yeah.
True.
And so, yeah, they did spend a lot of time, snippets from the Hawkeye show, and then more background about how she grew up, how she ended up in New York, and how she became who she is. So, yeah, it's basically just an introduction, especially since if you don't want to watch Hawkeye, even though Disney Plus insisted that you watch Hawkeye for like the last 2 weeks that it was coming up.
Yes, it did.
I mean, I guess I could, if I was bored, I could watch Hawkeye again. It's not something I'm like, yeah, let me watch that.
No, but you know what? I feel like I really enjoyed it, and I might enjoy it if I watch it again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the better Marvel TV shows.
Definitely.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
All right, let's talk about the beginning though, because this caught me off guard because I clicked on Echo, right, and then it was like some shiny pools and mud people coming out. of the ground.
Yeah, that did throw me
I was
off.
like, wait, Echo's like a person, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And in my head, I was like, if they go too far left with this, I'm going to be so mad. Because I was like, she came from outer space. I'm like, where they going with this?
But when they came up out of the ground and, the mud and stuff fell off of them, I was like, oh, this is the mythology.
Yes.
For the Choctaw peoples,
Is it?
right? Actually is.
It is.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
A similar way. Like, it basically, a lot of cultures have stories like this, like they were molded out of the clay or whatever.
I just wasn't sure if that was related to them or just something they made up.
It's probably the first live action depiction.
Okay.
But from what I saw about it, there are a couple of, or a couple. There are a few different stories with it because it wasn't written down. Everything was like passed on verbally or orally. So this is probably like the first visual depiction of it, which I think it looks pretty cool. Pretty awesome. But that shows Maya's ancestors, which kind of gets to a main point of this show, which is, I guess, why she's called Echo, because like her ancestry is echoing through her.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, pretty cool, because honestly, I don't know why she's called Echo in the comics. Seems like a weird name for a deaf hero.
Well, but maybe that's the point.
Oh. Is it?
I don't know. What's her powers in the comics?
It's the same.
No, she's like Daredevil.
Yeah, she's like a mixture of Daredevil and Taskmaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have no problem. It's just the name.
No, I don't have a problem either, but I guess they gave a reason for it.
I don't think we needed a reason, but now she has one, so okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, in comic books, they just give people names. Like, it don't really be a name.
Like, why is Robin? Who cares?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you need another flying animal, so.
Did you know?
Yep.
Well, he's not called just Bat. He's Batman.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
Robin Boy sounds weird.
Robin Boy. Well, I wasn't even thinking like he needed to be, Robin Man or whatever. I'm just thinking like Robin is kind of dumb if you think about it. Not like, oh, he flies. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
If he could have been Blue Jay or Cardinal. I mean, we're just gonna pick a small bird.
True.
Yeah,
true.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if it would have sounded weird if that was his name, but it's been his name all these years.
No, it wouldn't sound weird. We'd be like Blue Jay. Obviously, it's Blue Jay.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, like, honestly, Robin is like a weird name for a
dumb,
hero.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never sounded dumb.
I mean, you could have went with Bat Boy and we'd have been fine.
True.
So, yes. So yeah, first episode was pretty surprising to me. You got Daredevil in the first episode, which I didn't expect. This is his only showing, but fine because the show is about Maya.
It's fine, but we be like, oh, Daredevil's gonna be in it. You think you're gonna see him, and then you realize he was in the first episode, and all the clips you saw in the trailer, that was it.
Yeah. That was it.
The
whole trailer was the first episode.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So
I will say this. If that's going to be the Daredevil fight scenes, I'm cool with it.
Oh, the choreography, I think, was excellent in this show.
I feel like all the fight scenes were good.
Yeah.
We needed more, though.
Okay, it wasn't a lot.
I feel like that's what lacks on the Disney Plus shows.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did it need more fight scenes?
I think it did.
Okay.
I'd say one or two more.
I don't know. I feel like some of the suspense with just Wilson Fisk stepping out of the shadows.
I don't see that stuff. It didn't pay off to me.
He walked quietly for a big dude.
It's like okay. At the end of episode 4 or whatever, he shows up at the cabin, and you're like, oh, okay. But then at the end of the day, like their showdown just was kind of blah.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna get to their showdown. I'm okay with it.
It's like you build up to something.
Yeah, that's one of my nitpicks.
It did nothing.
I'm okay with it, and I'll give a reason once we get to the last showdown.
Okay.
I get what you guys are saying, but I didn't want it to go another way.
Okay.
But okay, so you have that. So basically, it sets up Wilson Fisk after her father dies, kind of takes her under his wing. And manipulates her into working for him, basically.
Yeah. And that's kind of comic book accurate as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was dying in the comic books, and he told Kingpin to take care of his daughter.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Which was fine. Yeah. So, I mean, everything happens. She learns that Kingpin had her father killed, and she shoots him in the face. Somehow she missed pretty badly because he still has his whole eye. I thought it would have gone through his eye or something, and he lived. I would have been fine if it did and he lived. But like he takes the patch off, and I'm like, his eye's still there.
I cannot figure out how come Kingpin never dies.
Yeah, but I feel like the thing that he had on there, I think that was healing his eye or growing his eye back.
What?
What grows an eye back?
Nothing grows an eye back.
When your eye's gone, it's done.
Like, honestly,
are we adding logic to comic books?
No, we are, because that doesn't make any sense. Because if he got shot through the eye and the face, there's not even anything to grow back.
And if she didn't shoot him in the eye, I don't know what she was aiming at.
Right.
Now, I do believe that happened in the comics.
That did happen in the comics.
I do not understand
how he also did not die.
Maybe
in the comics.
No. Maybe he got an eye replacement.
I'm saying, because what was the thing?
His eye grow back. Those are two different things.
No, like an actual eye replacement. So, like, I would give that to comics. So maybe that's what happened. They didn't explain it. So
yeah, because I was like, well, maybe that's what the thing on his eye was doing.
Besides,
not healing him. He had a replacement, and it was there covering up the replacement.
Yeah.
Because I would have believed that she shot him in the face, and it went through his eye.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And he should be super dead.
Yeah.
Well, no, people have survived, so I'm not going to put it past it.
22s. She did not shoot him with a 22.
No, she didn't, and it was point blank.
Yeah.
It's Kingpin.
Super dead.
His eye has muscles.
I mean, I still can't figure out why he never dies, but I guess
he never does. But yeah, for his only power.
He should have died when he fought Hawkeye, the girl.
Yeah, she had the explosive arrows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She blew him up.
But didn't he have on a special suit?
Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
No.
All his suits are special.
He had on the regular white suit with the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, all his suits are
special.
Oh.
They showed that in Daredevil.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they did. Yep, they did.
Plus, he's like a hardy guy. You saw him rip the door off in that show. So.
That is true. He did rip the door off a Cadillac or a Lincoln.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Vincent D'Onofrio played it the same. Feels like the same Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it is the Kingpin from Daredevil, which I guess they're saying it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. They connected the two shows.
Yeah,
they do. I mean, I don't think every episode is going to be canon, but like they've obviously taken him killing his father.
If you make one episode canon, the whole thing's
canon.
Yeah, they hold. Yeah, it's got
right. If he still killed his father, donezo, right? Daredevil shows up. Kingpin's like, I've never seen anyone hold their own against him before. It's canon. It's all canon.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Daredevil's back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So basically, she, after thinking she killed Kingpin, she's not a hero, which I think is good. Like, she's like, okay, I'm going to take over the Empire now, which is her plan.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm like, all right. I don't know. Like, her uncle said, I know you can do it. That's the problem. I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
I don't think she can't do it. No.
Is she intimidating enough to run that? Like, Kingpin is intimidating. That's how he has control over all these people.
I don't even think it's not that she's not intimidating. I think she's too emotional.
Okay, wait. But Kingpin is, like, extremely emotional.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, but she's emotional in the wrong way.
Okay. Not like baby tantrum thing, because that's basically Kingpin.
Which I don't like that about him in these shows.
No,
I don't.
Oh.
I just
What you basing them off of the Amazing Spider-Man?
That's the only thing I have to base him off of.
But I mean, they don't really too much on his character.
I don't know. Is he that emotional in the comics?
I don't know, because the Spider-Man comics books I read
accurate until you tell me otherwise.
Okay.
I was like, the Spider-Man comic books that I read, Kingpin wasn't in it.
I have no problem because it makes him pretty unpredictable. And it's like,
you can never tell his temperament.
Personally, I don't like it.
No, I like it.
I like it because I was like, because you never know his temperament. You never know, is this what's going to set him off, or is this going to set him off?
No, I don't like it.
I don't think she has, like, she's fierce. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think she has the ferocity that Kingpin has. I think she would have a little bit more compassion, which would be bad in that position.
Why would she have compassion? Like, what makes you think that she would have compassion?
Because she does have compassion
for her family.
All right.
Yeah, because I mean, she didn't care about them people she was killing in the skating ring.
Yeah,
well, she sure didn't.
No, I don't think she does at all.
Okay, it's just for her family. The grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is like, okay, she's messed up?
Yep.
Like, okay, so at the beginning, Maya's mother dies because someone cut the brakes in the car to try and kill her father, right? Mm-hmm. Rightfully so. The grandmother's angry because she's like, you guys are all in this criminal business. That's why my daughter died. I get it.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't want to see you. You can't be here anymore. So they move to New York. Fine. But you never contact Maya or anything?
Yeah.
For 20 years?
Yeah, like... I get you being mad at her father, but I mean, she did say because you remind me of her.
So what? I hate that excuse. You remind me so much of them. I just can't bear it. And then Maya was right.
Yeah.
You were selfish.
Yeah.
Maya she was a child.
Yep.
Talking about you remind me of them and I couldn't bear it. Okay, what about the kid? You thinking only about you. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh man, grandmother. I was like, okay, you messed up.
Yep. I agree. The grandmother, she messed up.
And then you're like, oh, you're just like your father. I'm like, maybe if you didn't force them away and then ignored her for 20 years, maybe she wouldn't have been a criminal.
Yeah, I mean, like, she grew up in a criminal enterprise. And that's because where else was she? Like, her father was a criminal. You kicked him out. So he's obviously going to turn to what he knows, right? He was up. To me, it seems like he was always working for Kingpin.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So now he just goes to New York and works for Kingpin.
Yeah.
Like, you just made a bad situation worse.
And then, okay, when her father died, you could have been like, oh, you come
live with us.
Live with us. And then she wouldn't have been with Kingpin.
Yeah. She even said that, right? She was like, you didn't even reach out to me when he died.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, grandmother, I was like, okay.
I would agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole story. She's back there. She's trying to take over the empire. And so she's doing stuff to mess with the.
Well, that also Kingpin's men is after her too.
Yeah.
For killing.
For killing Kingpin, there's a bounty on her head.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's pretty much the first part of the show. So she's back with her family, and oh man, now I forgot where we were going with it.
You said she's with her family. Basically, she does hurt Kingpin's weapon.
Yeah, she blows up the armory.
Yeah.
Right. So some people come at to get her, but Kingpin calls off the hit.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. Throughout it, we're getting like these touches of her ancestry, which a few of them, I think they did something pretty cool. They did like a silent movie with one of them.
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really nice touch.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that. You saw the one playing stickball, which I guess is what lacrosse came from.
It looked very much like lacrosse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looked more interesting than lacrosse.
I mean, lacrosse is a dumb sport. There's a reason why only certain people play it.
So you had that ancestor, and then at that point, I found out each episode name was one of the ancestors, going all the way down to Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
So it was named after each one until you got to Maya, like because the one before Maya was her mother, who gave birth in the forest. I mean,
her grandmother.
Yeah, her grandmother. And it was her grandmother, then her mother, then Maya. So yeah, I get you were having birth complications, and it's like it's cool and all that this worked out for y'all because she had this connection to the ancestors and whatever. But like, don't leave the hospital.
She also doesn't survive that.
Yeah, she would have died.
No, I don't know.
Oh, maybe she did. Maybe special. Well, no, she had the super strength from the ancestors, so that's why she survived. So evidently, it gets passed on to the women in the family in that line. Yeah, which is cool. So they get glowy hands and kind of super strength.
I'm still not quite sure what these power contains.
And they can heal. Well, they explained it. There was like 3. There was ferocity.
Right.
Healing.
Her mother could heal. I saw that.
That was they called it love, right? So that was healing power. Then there was one cunning.
Yeah. No, was that it? Because that was the lacrosse.
Yeah. No, I thought ferocity was the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, Cunning was the girl with lacrosse. I forgot what the other one was. It has something to do with like her accuracy and stuff.
I don't remember.
An ability to like shoot people because she was like back in the cowboy days.
Right. Oh wait, maybe that one was Cunning.
Yeah,
that one was Cunning. The silent movie one was Cunning.
Oh, okay, so that was Cunning. Ferocity was first one.
Strategy or something.
Strategy, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So Cunning was the cowboy times.
Yes.
And then Love was her mother.
Yeah.
They skipped over her grandmother. I guess she didn't display any powers.
Pettiness.
Petty. Oh wow. Being petty. Yeah. So that's kind of comes together to one power, but it's not like she has it all the time.
Well, she does.
She's got to be in like danger.
But she does
now.
I think so. At the end, right?
Okay. After she talked to her mom.
Yeah, and she's learned because at the end when she was fighting Kingpin's men and like all of the ancestors shows up and that way she was able to echo her powers to her grandmother and her cousin.
Oh yeah.
I feel like she has it all the time now.
Okay. So there was that. We talked about there being a couple of good scenes. I thought the skating rink scene was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With her taking on all those folks. You're right. I guess there's not a lot of action scenes. Mm-hmm. You had her against Daredevil, her on the train, the skating rink.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the final battle.
Oh, wow. It really wasn't. Mm-hmm. I still thought the show was interesting, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the final battle since you guys...
It was lackluster.
Not a lot happened in it. I'm going to be real, yes. Yeah. But I am glad that they didn't have it like, oh, she's got the ancestor powers now, and so all of a sudden she can defeat Kingpin. Like, Daredevil has a hard time defeating Kingpin. I'm like, I didn't want her to be like, just because, oh, the ancestor powers, I'm strong now, I can beat up Kingpin. Mm-hmm. So I do like how they had her beat Kingpin.
True, I'm okay with that. I think so once her full powers display, I felt like it was just kind of like one and done. You know what I mean? Because she gets her power in the last episode, in the last scene. You don't really get I don't know, maybe her learning about her powers or just something else.
Okay.
It was just like, oh, you have it, so now we get to fight these men now. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. It's just like, okay, but even then, I would like some more hand-to-hand combat with Kingpin, maybe.
Yeah,
she didn't fight him at all. I think they did that because it was like Kingpin would destroy her.
Yeah, so maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
So, because that's what was in my head. I'm like, Spider-Man and Daredevil can't beat Kingpin.
Maybe so maybe that's why they didn't have it. I don't know. I was looking for something else.
Okay, well,
me too.
Explaining to the audience, in case they haven't seen it, she defeats Kingpin by using her mother's powers of healing to kind of, reduce some of his rage from his father abusing his mother and him when he was younger. So she had him let go of that. I don't think that's permanent, obviously, because Kingpin still be Kingpinning.
Well, so, he never handed her the hammer.
Yeah.
That he killed his father with, I should say, for the people who didn't know.
Watch Daredevil.
Yes. So, but it at least, he left this situation alone because of it. So,
yeah, because I took it as that she was trying to heal him of his pain that he's been holding on to, and that's what makes him who he is.
Yeah,
and that's why he refused, because it was like, that's why he was yelling, "What did you do to me?" Because it was like, if he doesn't hold on to that, he don't run his empire the same way no more. He's running it the way he is because of all the anger and everything that he has.
Yeah.
So you take that away, he's just a regular common criminal at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically what she tried to do to him is what her mother did for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something like, it's time for you to let go of this anger. Mm-hmm. And she tried to do the same with him, and he's like, "Nah, I like being angry."
Yeah. And you made mention earlier, is that that power of hers permanent? They did keep mentioning in the show that they come to your aid when you need them the most, or when you need the strength. So
that power sucks.
Yeah, so I think she's just regular old Maya for most of the time, but when it's a dire situation, like it might show up.
Look, I won't need my powers all of the time. Like I don't want to kind of, cause how like what if I think I'm in danger and you like you all right?
Well, they kind of did like remember that one scene where it was like they were warning her, but she still got kidnapped.
Yeah.
Well, one, I'm like, I think she got kidnapped because you were warning her. Like she kept having these flashes of her ancestors, and then it's like, yo, maybe you shouldn't have, because she seems like a pretty alert person otherwise.
Because she felt something there, but then the ancestors all.
Yeah. But pretty cool scenery in a lot of this show. We talked about her trying to heal Kingpin. I thought that was pretty cool scenery with him sitting in his room, and you can hear like, you know, his father on the other side, and the wall is like, I'm like, I don't think it was happening like that. Hopefully, right? With the wall like plasters cracking, and you can see dust falling and stuff.
I mean, you know what? If that was actually how he was beating his mom like that, by all means,
she's not alive.
Beat your daddy with a hammer. Like if
I didn't blame him when they showed the scene in Daredevil. I didn't.
Yeah,
blame
when they showed it in Daredevil,
I didn't blame him, but you know, still, you know, no murder. But I understand his reaction.
Like if you hitting someone strong enough to break the plaster on the other side of the wall, maybe you deserve to get beat with a hammer. I'm just saying.
Acting, I think through the show was excellent.
No
one fell short.
Yeah. I would agree with that too. I didn't feel like nothing was over the top. I felt like individual scenes with the characters was well. Like it didn't come across like forced or no one didn't have chemistry. I felt like everyone had chemistry throughout the show.
Yeah. So I put this show along with some of the ones that I could rewatch, and so I put, you know, I'm just talking about rewatchability, like WandaVision, Loki. Like I could watch those again. I could watch this show again. No.
I will not be watching this again.
Okay.
No.
I will have to agree.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I feel like it was a welcome thing to watch outside of Loki compared to other shows that have came out since. So I did enjoy that aspect of it, but yeah, I can rewatch WandaVision. I can rewatch Loki. I don't know.
No, I just feel like overall, the show is just okay. And like I said, it's not bad, but there's really nothing that pulls me towards it. I think the pacing of it was slow.
Yeah.
I know a lot of it is like, you know, her coming to know herself, which is cool. But like I said at the beginning, you know, is she's being hunted by Kingpin men, and at no point did I ever really feel like she was in any danger.
Okay? That's true. Yeah.
And then,
well, except for when Kingpin showed up.
Well, Kingpin shows up, that episode ends, you're like, oh, okay. But even then, that didn't pay off to me.
Well, I felt like, to me, that didn't bother me because it's like, Kingpin always has his own thing.
I'm okay with Kingpin saying, I want you back. Come join me again. That part I'm okay with. But even then, when he comes back and decides, all right, well, now I'm going to kill you, that it doesn't pay off. Okay. That last scene to me doesn't pay off. Okay, so she shares her power with her grandmother and her cousin. That fight scene lasted like 10 seconds. And then that was just it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was kind of hoping she'd join Kingpin. I'm not going to.
I mean, I was like, because I was going to ask the question, so where do we go with Maya after this? Yeah. And whether it be Kingpin or not, I kind of was like, yeah, I mean, I kind of want her to have her criminal empire.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's certainly not a bad show, and I know they're like want this because this is all under Marvel's spotlight, which, by the way, Marvel, not necessary.
It's not. You didn't have to have another name, but it's okay.
It's not necessary. So I get that you want to focus more on characters, which you did a great job on that. You're focusing on Echo, her family, Kingpin, all that is fine.
Yeah.
It was just not enough.
I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Cool. Yeah. All right, so are you going to go with nitpicks?
I have just one nitpick. I have a couple of movie facts or show facts.
Oh yeah, facts.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. Yeah, the facts.
Random show facts.
So, as I mentioned, this was produced under Marvel Spotlight, which is supposed to be more of their character-driven, unconnected shows or whatever.
But it
was.
But not as connected. It can be standalone. More standalone.
I mean, but they're all supposed to be standalone.
It only connects to Daredevil, which by the way...
And Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was standalone. It wasn't it. WandaVision was standalone.
WandaVision is not standalone.
I do not really need to. They explain everything in the show. You don't have
That's
to.
That's not standalone. It's not.
Fine.
It's not.
Okay.
So it's
I don't feel like
Loki
this is
standalone.
No.
I don't feel like this was standalone either.
Would y'all understand what I'm saying? It's not connected to any other MCU movie thing.
Yes, it is.
No, what MCU movie?
No,
Hawkeye.
That's not a movie.
No, that's a show.
That's a show.
But the show is connected to the movie. So it's connected to a show that's connected to movies. So by proxy.
No, you're not.
Okay.
No.
From that definition, that makes sense.
But yes, it is supposed to be more.
So it's just connecting the shows.
And it's just a more character-driven thing.
Isn't all Marvel supposed to be character-driven?
Look, I said Spotlight doesn't need to exist. And then also I think it also gives them the TVMA rating, which by the way, this is not it.
It was not.
It was not.
It was kind of, because there are some scenes in there you could not have had for
a scene.
No, well, when old guy in the skating rink died, it's about the amount of blood.
Oh, because he coughed up a little bit of blood.
Well, then they showed the blood dripping from the bullet hole in his head.
I feel like we get that on
and his chest
every week.
And out his mouth.
It wasn't necessary. Extreme, it is not extreme MA, which we've seen places go.
True.
It is still even the small scenes that have it is still too much for lower rating. It is.
It is. MA, you can't show blood like that.
This was like little baby MA. Y'all created a whole studio for that. Okay.
It's great. It's no worse than Daredevil was.
Daredevil was worse than this.
Daredevil was worse.
Daredevil is a lot worse than this.
I always go back to that one scene.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
With the car scene?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Punisher was worse than that.
But, well, yes. That Punisher is the extreme MA.
It earned its rating. Yeah. This one did not. I'm sorry. This one did not.
Okay. I thought it was fine.
I think it was fine. I just don't think you need a whole studio to show one guy cough for blood.
However, I think... And you were the one that said this, it allows them to take the kids' gloves off. Because what you get with regular Disney is extremely played down. Not saying you need a bunch of violence or whatever, but you get, like the scene in Black Panther. Mm-hmm. And Killmonger, like, slices the girl's throat. Mm-hmm. Either don't have him do that or make it realistic because he did it and she just fell. I'm like, well, that's not how that works.
I agree. Which I'm always saying, like, I feel like they can show it because
you cannot show that.
If you can show it in Criminal Minds or Law and Order,
they someone slice somebody's throat in Criminal Minds.
If they show someone get shot and blood spatter in those shows all the time.
Yeah, but that's not meant for kids to watch, though.
It's still rated 14.
I think it's rated higher than 14.
It's on network
television.
Even
if it is 14, I think Disney takes a little bit of
That's what I'm saying.
Caution.
Disney takes way too much caution. Uh-huh. Versus something you can have on ABC at 8 o'clock.
I guess.
None of them shows are on ABC that you mentioned, by the way.
That is true. They also don't come on at 8 o'clock.
No, they don't. It starts at 9.
My point is, if you can show it on network television,
that's why.
You should be able to show it
that's why How to Get Away with Murder came on at 9.
Well, I know. Yeah, the softer shows come on earlier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they show stuff too.
But so I think it did allow. I think it allowed the show to do what it needed without it being over the top.
I agree. I still think this was very, very soft, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I'm just saying.
I feel like what did you want him to do?
No.
Right. Oh, man, Maya had a knife in her boot when she was fighting them people in the...
Right.
Oh, man, that was messed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it needed to be worse than that. I'm just saying we didn't need a whole studio for this, for you to have a very low-rated MA show.
Okay. But does this give you confidence that Daredevil will be along the same lines Daredevil was?
I think Daredevil needs to be what Daredevil was.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it will be.
We'll see. Because this wasn't what Daredevil was.
No, but...
No. But like I said earlier, I was like, if the fight scenes are going to be like how the show is, then I'm confident in that. Because I feel like what made Daredevil outside of the story was the fight scenes.
True.
So I felt good with the 3 fight scenes that they had, because I'm not counting the last one.
I mean, this didn't make me question Daredevil, so I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what gave me confidence in Daredevil.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other facts?
Okay, so this we talked about a little bit. This was the first MCU property to acknowledge the events that happened in one of the Netflix series. Mm-hmm. So if Daredevil is canon, they're all canon.
Nope.
Why not?
There are only 3 Netflix series. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I mean, I guess 4. You did mention Punisher. Is Punisher really connected? I don't know. But yeah.
Punisher's connected.
It's connected.
So you're not going to connect Iron Fist?
What?
They said it was not connected.
I haven't heard of that.
And it was a meme that came out at the end of the Echo series. People started putting out memes. And it was just like, yes, all these shows are finally canon. And it was like a bunch of people cutting the cake. And they had the name of the different shows. And then they had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But the dude didn't have a knife in his hand.
Oh.
To cut the cake. So it was just like, still not in canon.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon.
Yeah,
no,
it's
that's
not
definitely
canon.
not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see there's no issue with connecting the Netflix show because they didn't connect to anything else.
Yeah, they were definitely standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they would make like a mention of something.
I feel like they mentioned the Avengers once.
Yeah.
In the first
and then
episode,
they mentioned in Luke Cage about the Hawk messing up Harlem.
Yeah.
What's the name mentioned it too? The girl. What's her name?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. Thank you. They mentioned it in there. So.
Yeah. So I felt like by all means, Marvel, disconnect them. It's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Definitely disconnect Iron Fist. Let's never see that again.
No, because he's part of the Defenders.
Have someone
the Defenders don't exist.
Put Spider-Man into Defenders. I don't care.
All right, this was the first MCU show to drop all episodes at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
Good for you. And then my last one is it was originally going to be 6 episodes, but I guess there were some writing issues and budget issues, so they dropped it down to 5 instead of 6.
I don't know how it would have been 6.
No, it would have had the same. I'm glad it didn't, because it would have had the same problem that all the other 6-episode series had with 1 episode. For some reason, and it's 6 episodes. How come y'all can't write 6 episodes with interesting stories? I feel like because
they go in with an episode number in mind. I feel like write the whole series.
Yeah, just write it.
I just didn't divide it up.
Yeah,
because the rest of Disney Plus shows, all of them, have at least 1 episode where it's like,
including Loki,
where's this did nothing.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
So this was fine with 5. I think the story, even though yes, the pacing was a bit slower, but I think that was just the story. Like the story had a slower pacing to it, you know.
I mean, we could have cut out some scenes of her brooding by the lake and on her motorcycle. I mean, there was like motorcycle rides 3 times, and the episodes weren't long.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say. I feel like the 5 episodes worked well with what they did with the story.
It was fine. Yes. I didn't need more.
No, I agree.
No, it was a full story.
I felt like it kept with the pace, even though I felt like it was kind of boring, slow.
Well, because I had that question. Oh, what do we do with Maya next? I hope the next thing you do with her. I think you did need to explore this part of her character. Fine. I think the next thing you do with her needs to be her
starting up her own empire.
Yeah, starting up her own empire or something.
Yeah,
starting
with the city she lives in.
Is she gonna show? I thought she was gonna show up in Daredevil.
Probably is.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll go from there. Maybe her and Kingpin fights for the city. Although we didn't talk about the end credit scene.
Yeah.
Right.
End credit scene, Kingpin for mayor.
Yeah. But it was also leaning toward that at the end of Hawkeye too.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need to watch Hawkeye again.
Yeah. It was leaning toward that at the end. With Hawkeye, he scoffed at it like, why would I want to do that?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know. Y'all don't think Kingpin feels kind of weak in these shows? Not physically, but just not as intimidating as he does in a cartoon.
No.
I don't know. He feels kind of soft to me.
Okay.
I feel like you had that aspect of him because he actually cares for her. He raised her. He doesn't honestly want to harm her.
I'm okay with that. He still feels soft.
He wasn't soft with nobody else.
What do you mean? I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too.
Wholeheartedly. I think it's the same Kingpin.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I do too. I feel like this is how would be the same.
He treated his wife.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, he treated his wife the same way.
You don't think that was soft?
Yeah, that makes it the same character.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I thought it was. I said I think Kingpin overall is soft to me.
Oh, including in Daredevil?
Oh. Yes.
Absolutely not. You're out of your mind.
No.
What?
No. I need you to rewatch the cartoons. When it came to his family, he was acting soft in that too.
Maybe I haven't seen the cartoon.
In every depiction, you got the whole reason for Across the Spider-Verse is because he felt sad about his wife. And son.
Oh, so is he just a soft character?
Deep down,
yes.
Well, then I pass.
Well, because
get out of here.
Why is he a criminal and a villain? It's because he also mad because his dad was beating his mom.
I wouldn't put it that way.
I mean, but I'm saying though, like
that's fine.
It's by emotions.
I'm not saying he can't be having emotions. I'm just saying he seems a little soft.
To the people he care about, yes.
I honestly, I don't get what she means by soft. I don't see anything soft about this character at all.
I don't either.
Okay.
A guy interrupted his date and he took his head off with a car door. That does not scream to me as a soft person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And that was just for interrupting his date.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't do it. He just interrupted his date.
I just feel like he seems soft to me.
Did you think that when you were watching Daredevil?
He beat up the vendor for making fun of the girl.
That's like one thing, and then he goes on these old ranty, teary-eyed monologues.
When?
With Maya, though.
All the time.
Did you think this when you were watching Daredevil? Because I've never heard her say this.
Yes, we didn't. Did we go episode by episode on Daredevil? No. We did not. So this is my first time to express to you how I feel about this depiction of Kingpin.
All right.
I think
that is your opinion. I think it's an insane opinion, but okay.
I think it's an accurate depiction of Kingpin.
Okay, sure.
That's insane. All right, cool. Any other facts?
That was it.
Nitpicks?
Yes.
Oh, him being soft is your nitpick?
No, him being soft is not my nitpick. Goodness, what's wrong with you? I just have one. So when Maya gets captured at the skating ring, she loses her leg. And then the lady gives her leg back. Like, why?
Yeah, why?
Like, even if you didn't know how to fight or have superpowers,
it's a disadvantage.
A one-legged person is a lot easier to beat than a two-legged person.
Yes.
Why would I give you your leg back?
Yeah.
They didn't seem too smart, though.
They were not.
They weren't smart at
all. And the uncle called it. He was just like, what makes you think they're going to give you money when they get there?
Yeah, that whole thing was just dumb. Because they're like, so where is she? Hope you didn't call us up here for nothing. Yeah. And he's like, it was just dumb.
Yeah. I mean, I got it because it's always that person like, okay, this is going to be my come up moment. But it's like, no, it ain't, bro. You clean skates at a skater. You're not ready to be a criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have.
My only nitpick was the end. I wanted it to actually be a fight.
A fight scene.
And Maya loses.
But
because my thought on it is she loses, but Kingpin doesn't like kill her or anything.
No, because that's not Kingpin. He would have killed her.
Well, because I was like, because he still views her as a daughter.
I don't see Kingpin doing that for anyone. Like, oh, but I still view... No, I think once he decides he's killing a person, they're going to die.
No, I would have been like, kill her grandmother and her cousin.
I think he would have killed them.
Yes. Yeah. And then spared her and to be like, hey, this is what I'm willing to do. Yeah. For you need to work for me.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's something like maybe she didn't have to lose that fight, but at this point, like she doesn't lose anything.
She lost nothing.
No, she didn't.
Not even
she learned a lot, though.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was my only nitpick. I would have ended it differently.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Are we gonna rate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give it. I pay for that.
This is a definite watch while folding clothes.
I was going to give it a watch while folding clothes as well.
I guess it's a watch while folding clothes for 3D Rivals. I thought it was better than these two were saying.
It really is not.
But okay.
It really is not.
All right. I mean, what we have Moon Knight and She-Hulk to compare this to, I think this was great.
It's better than them.
It's better than those, yes. But it needed to be better. Yeah. I felt like it did not live up to the hype at all.
No. What hype? I don't think there was a hype for it.
Some hype.
Yeah.
Was there a big hype for Echo?
Yes.
There was some hype.
It was on everything.
Yeah, especially when you found out like, oh, it's gonna be rated MA, so you figure like it's gonna be more.
I'm talking about like audience hype. I'm not talking about the money Disney shilled out for it. That's not hype.
No, I think people were really interested in seeing it because it's supposed to be like Derek says, like your leeway to Daredevil. Like everyone wants to see Daredevil. It's like, oh, okay, so this is going to tell us what Daredevil is going to be like. I feel like people were really anticipating this show.
Oh, I think it did a good job with showing us how Daredevil would be. I mean, it doesn't mean the pacing of Daredevil is going to be the same as the show.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What?
I'm saying is that why people were anticipating the show.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying to me, the show did not live up to that anticipation.
Like it doesn't show you what Daredevil's like. If you take those aspects, I think it does.
Are intertwining those two things. I'm telling you why people were anticipating the show.
Okay.
But that's not why it didn't live up to it.
Okay, I got you. All right. Cool. Okay. All right, well, those are our thoughts on Echo. If you haven't seen the show, make sure you check it out. I think it's worth a watch.
I say check it out.
Mm-hmm. I would be interested in seeing Maya again show up in something.
Yeah, well, she would be in Daredevil, so we know that.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But with that being said, make sure you follow or like or wherever you listen to your podcast, and we will catch you in the next one.